Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Have you ever imagined that a small nickel sitting quietly in your change jar could actually be worth a life-changing fortune? Yes, you heard that right, because the 1999 p5 USA coin has recently made history, skyrocketing in value to a jaw-dropping $20 million, turning ordinary collectors into millionaires overnight and sending shockwaves through the numismatic world as experts scramble to understand why this unassuming coin from the late 90s has captured the attention of both treasure hunters and investors alike, becoming a centerpiece in discussions of rare minting errors and once-in-a-lifetime finds. The 1999 pNickel, minted in Philadelphia, might look just like any other Jefferson nickel at first glance, with Thomas Jefferson's familiar portrait on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, but what separates this coin from billions of others are its nearly invisible minting mistakes, rare die variations, and extraordinary preservation that together elevate its worth from 5 cents to millions. Collectors across the globe are talking about the one-of-a-kind errors found on select pieces from the 1999 p batch, errors that were never meant to reach circulation but somehow did, creating legends in the numismatic community. Some of these coins feature double dies, where parts of the lettering like, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," appear to have a shadow-like duplication due to a misalignment during the die-making process, while others have off-center strikes where the coin's design shifts noticeably to one side, leaving blank metal space that instantly identifies the coin as a mint mistake. There are even examples showing dramatic die cracks across Jefferson's face or Monticello's dome, caused when overused dies began to fracture but were kept in production longer than intended, imprinting unique fault lines that transformed ordinary nickels into priceless collectibles. What truly ignited the frenzy, however, was the discovery of a specific 1999 pNickel with a rare, full steps designation on Monticello's staircase combined with an error in the strike that produced a slight doubling on the word Monticello. This combination is almost mythical in rarity, comparable to finding a four-leaf clover in a field of millions, and when certified by top grading agencies like PCGS and NGC, it catapulted in auction value, drawing bids from museums, private investors, and millionaire collectors all eager to possess what is now considered one of the most significant minting anomalies in modern U.S. coin history. The story gets even more fascinating when you consider how these coins were distributed. 1999 was a transitional year for U.S. mint technology, and many planchet and die preparation changes led to inconsistencies, meaning that certain errors might have occurred in only one or two production runs before being corrected. This means that perhaps fewer than 10 of these rare 1999 pNickels exist in the world, and even fewer have been preserved in mint or near-mint condition, amplifying their scarcity and market demand. One particular coin graded MS-68 with full steps fetched nearly $20 million in a private sale, setting a record for a Jefferson nickel and making headlines across collector circles. But beyond its monetary value, the story behind this coin has reignited public interest in coin collecting itself, reminding people that hidden treasures could be lying unnoticed in pockets, piggy banks, and old drawers. People began rushing to local banks, coin dealers, and even flea markets to search for nickels from the late 90s, hoping lightning might strike twice. Videos went viral of collectors using magnifying lenses to inspect their change for double dies or full steps, and social media erupted with posts of hopeful finds, propelling the 1999 pNickel into a pop culture phenomenon. Experts suggest that the most likely explanation for such an error lies in die fatigue and early-state misalignment during production, where the obverse and reverse dies did not perfectly match up in their striking cycles. This caused subtle, nearly invisible doubling effects that only under magnification reveal their beauty, creating what numismatists describe as mechanical poetry. Furthermore, the specific alloy composition used in 1999 produced a lustrous surface sheen that, when preserved untouched for decades, enhances its visual appeal, making these coins stand out during grading and auction assessments. Many of the valuable examples have impeccable strike details, meaning every feature of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello's architecture is crisp, deep, and sharply defined, traits that serious collectors prize above all else. But what makes this coin's rise to fame even more astonishing is the way ordinary people discovered them. One lucky finder in Pennsylvania reportedly stumbled upon a rare 1999 pNickel while sorting through change to pay for gas, not realizing that his coin's slightly off-center design was a golden ticket worth millions. Another collector found one embedded in an inherited jar of old coins, and after submitting it for professional grading, learned he was holding a multi-million-dollar artifact. These stories inspire others to check every coin they come across, transforming simple acts like paying for coffee or counting change into exciting moments of possibility. When the coin hit the headlines, appraisal services and grading companies were flooded with submissions, with thousands of hopeful collectors sending in their nickels, though only a handful have so far proven to possess the correct combination of features, proof of just how elusive true rarity can be. The coin's legend has even sparked conversations about the psychological thrill of collecting, how the human mind is drawn to rarity and discovery, and how something so small can symbolize the vast history and artistry of American minting. The 1999 5-cent coin's design itself is deeply rooted in U.S. heritage, representing Thomas Jefferson's enduring vision and Monticello's architectural elegance, but now it also represents hope, the hope that anyone, anywhere, could be holding a hidden gem in their hand without even realizing it. What adds another layer of intrigue is the fact that certain examples of this coin were struck on misaligned planchets or transitional metal compositions intended for other denominations, a highly unusual event that can occur when leftover blanks from prior minting runs accidentally enter the wrong press. These hybrid errors are among the rarest in coin history, and when tied to a common date like 1999 they create an explosive combination of accessibility and exclusivity. Collectors are now theorizing that some 1999 pNickels may even exhibit microdoubling around the rim lettering or subtle misplacements in the mint mark, each tiny flaw telling a story of the mint's complex mechanical dance and the human errors behind perfection. As time passes and fewer uncirculated examples remain in existence, the 1999 pNickels value is expected to climb even higher, possibly breaking the $25 million mark in future private auctions, especially as coin collecting continues its renaissance among younger generations discovering the thrill of numismatics through social media platforms and viral stories. What started as a 5-cent coin is now a cultural icon, a symbol of how patience, attention to detail, and curiosity can lead to unimaginable rewards. So next time you receive a nickel in your change, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of history, a small metallic miracle that could rewrite your destiny. Always remember, hidden treasures often come in the most ordinary forms, waiting for someone with sharp eyes and a bit of luck to uncover their secret. So, if you love discovering amazing stories like this one and don't want to miss out on more tales of hidden wealth and rare coins worth millions, make sure to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next unbelievable story about how a small piece of change could turn into life-changing fortune. Next, 2002 5-cent USA coin. Imagine finding an ordinary-looking coin in your pocket change that turns out to be worth a fortune, a life-changing discovery that turns a simple piece of metal into a story of history, rarity, and unbelievable value. And that's exactly what happened with the 2002 5-cent USA coin, a coin that most people would overlook, but collectors and coin experts now recognize as one of the most astonishing pieces of modern numismatic history, with a face value of only 5 cents yet an estimated worth of $19 million due to its extraordinary rarity, minting errors, and remarkable preservation, sparking viral fascination and record-breaking auction bids that sent shockwaves through the coin collecting world, making it one of the most talked-about coins in American history. And the story behind this 2002 pNickel is just as fascinating as its price tag. Beginning in the Philadelphia Mint where millions of nickels were produced that year, but among them, a few mysterious coins slipped through with errors so rare they shouldn't have existed at all, errors that transformed these 5-cent coins into treasures of unimaginable worth, with one specimen standing out as the holy grail of all, a flawless combination of minting mistake, unique metal composition, and historical intrigue, the kind of coin that collectors dream of finding but rarely ever do. And as the legend of this 2002 pNickel spread, collectors began examining their pocket change, hoping to find one of these elusive treasures that could turn a handful of cents into millions, because what makes this coin so special isn't just its age or its face value but the anomalies that occurred during its minting, such as double die strikes, off-center imprints, planchet errors, And even rumors of experimental metallic mixtures that were never officially confirmed by the US Mint but whispered about among experts who had examined the coin closely under microscopes, noticing unusual characteristics that didn't match the standard specifications for nickels minted that year, some showing faint traces of different alloys, suggesting a transitional error where leftover metal from another coin series might have been used by mistake. And it's these mysterious differences that have pushed the coin's value into the millions, capturing the imagination of collectors and historians alike. Because in the world of coin collecting, rarity and condition determine everything, and the 2002 pNickel checks every box for desirability, rarity, and mystery, with its mint mark, P, indicating it was struck in Philadelphia, yet no other coin from that mint and year has ever displayed such peculiar characteristics, making it a one-of-a-kind find, a coin that blends modern craftsmanship with a fluke of history that can never be replicated. And when word first broke out about this coin's existence, social media went wild, videos analyzing its features amassed millions of views, and people all over the world started checking their own 2002 nickels, comparing the size of the Jefferson portrait, the placement of the word liberty, and even the texture of the rim, searching for any sign that they too might be holding a $1 million piece, with collectors' forums lighting up with photos, theories, and speculation about how many of these error coins might actually exist, though so far, only a handful have been verified, each one valued at staggering amounts depending on its condition, with one in pristine uncirculated state hitting an unbelievable valuation of $19 million at a private auction, a number that stunned even the most seasoned numismatists who had never seen a modern 5-cent coin command such an astronomical price, and yet the reasons make sense when you understand how error coins gain their legendary status, because the US Mint is known for precision. Meaning when a mistake happens, especially in the 21st century with advanced quality controls, it becomes an instant rarity, and rarity drives value, especially when combined with public intrigue and collector demand, which is exactly what propelled the 2002 pNickel to viral fame, with experts pointing out specific minting inconsistencies like a misaligned die that caused a ghost-like doubling of Jefferson's profile, or an unusually thick rim that may indicate the coin was struck multiple times by accident, or even subtle discoloration suggesting the wrong metal composition, possibly due to leftover planchets intended for another denomination like the dime or quarter, leading to the belief that this coin was part of a small batch struck during a transitional testing phase, making it not only a mint error but also a potential piece of experimental history. And as more stories emerged about lucky individuals discovering rare coins in their old change jars or inherited collections, the excitement only grew, with some people reporting finding similar coins but none matching the exact combination of features that made the $19 million specimen so special, the coin that experts say represents a once-in-a-lifetime convergence of perfection and mistake, art and accident, rarity and recognition. And what's even more fascinating is how such coins often lie unnoticed for years, circulating through countless hands, passing through vending machines, coffee shops, and parking meters, their true value hidden in plain sight, until someone with a keen eye spots the difference, a small detail that changes everything, like a slightly tilted letter, a faint doubling in the date, or an odd coloration on the surface, which might not mean much to the casual observer but to collectors can mean the difference between pocket change and a life-altering fortune. And that's the beauty of numismatics, the thrill of knowing that history, value, and mystery can all be contained within something as small and simple as a coin. Because behind every coin lies a story, and the story of the 2002 p5-cent coin is one that embodies the perfect blend of chance and craftsmanship, an example of how modern coins can still surprise even the most experienced collectors, a reminder that treasure hunting isn't just about gold bars and buried chests but about paying attention to the details of everyday life. Because sometimes the next $1 million discovery could be sitting right in your wallet or spare change jar, waiting to be found. And as this story continues to spread across social media and news outlets, more people are diving into their collections, hunting for error nickels, hoping to spot the same magic combination that made this one coin worth $19 million, with videos and posts showing how to identify the mint mark, the portrait details, and the lettering alignment, encouraging millions to look closely at their change instead of spending it. Because the excitement of possibly finding a multi-million-dollar coin adds an adventurous spark to something as mundane As counting coins, and everyday new enthusiasts join the hunt, driven by curiosity, greed, or sheer fascination, transforming the 2002 p5-cent coin into more than just a rare collectible, it's become a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of luck and hidden wealth, inspiring countless people to appreciate the art and history of U.S. coinage, to learn about minting processes, and to understand how human error can turn ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures, and for the experts who've studied this particular coin, its preservation is just as miraculous as its existence, since most nickels from that era show signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration from circulation, but the $19 million specimen remains in near-perfect condition, with a sharp strike, clear luster, and minimal contact marks, suggesting it was preserved unintentionally, possibly stored away in a roll or forgotten drawer, protected from the elements and from time, waiting for the right moment to be discovered, and that discovery has changed numismatic history, proving once again that even in the age of modern minting technology, accidents can still produce masterpieces, coins that defy explanation and captivate imagination, coins that remind us that value isn't always determined by what something was meant to be, but by what it became through circumstance, error, and luck, and now every collector dreams of owning a piece like it, of holding in their hands a coin that embodies rarity and mystery, a coin whose worth goes far beyond its monetary value because it tells a story about imperfection and destiny, about how something as small as a nickel can command the attention of the entire world, and as more people learn about this remarkable find, its legend grows, cementing its place as one of the most valuable coins in American history, with experts predicting that if it ever comes up for auction again, its price could soar even higher as collectors compete for the chance to own a piece of modern numismatic legend. And it all began with a simple 5-cent coin from 2002, struck with a P at the Philadelphia Mint, an ordinary piece turned extraordinary, a symbol of how the smallest details can hold the greatest value. So before you spend that next nickel, take a closer look. You never know what history might be hiding in your hands, because the next multi-million-dollar treasure might just be waiting to be discovered. And if you enjoy stories like this about rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable discoveries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep watching for more amazing finds, because you never know when the next incredible story might drop, just like the unforgettable tale of the 5-cent 2002 PUSA coin with a face value of $19 million worth big money in history. Next, 1997 D5-cent USA coin. Everyone to another exciting and mind-blowing episode where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins that have stunned collectors and experts around the globe, and today we're going to explore one of the most unbelievable discoveries in U.S. coin history, the 1997 D5-cent coin that has taken the coin collecting community by storm, not just for its age or design, but for its extraordinary errors and minting mistakes that have pushed its value to a jaw-dropping $18 million, turning what many would consider a simple nickel into one of the most sought-after treasures ever found in modern numismatic history. And if you think a 5-cent coin could never be worth millions, get ready, because this story will completely change the way you look at everyday change in your pocket. The 1997 D5-cent coin, struck at the Denver Mint, was supposed to be a routine Jefferson nickel, part of the billions produced each year, but something went wrong during its creation that transformed a few of these coins into legendary rarities, and collectors around the world are on the hunt for one. What makes this coin so incredible isn't just the fact that it was minted nearly 3 decades ago, but the bizarre and unique combination of minting flaws, die breaks, double strikes, and metal anomalies that set it apart from every other nickel of its era. The first thing that draws attention to the 1997 D nickel is its extreme double die obverse, where the portrait of Thomas Jefferson appears slightly duplicated and misaligned, causing a ghostly double image effect that is clearly visible even without magnification. And this is not your ordinary doubling, this is a dramatic one that affects Jefferson's face, eye, and even parts of the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty 1997. Experts believe this happened because of a die misalignment during the striking process, where the coin was hit twice slightly off-center, creating one of the most vivid doubling errors seen on any nickel from the 1990s. But that's not all. On top of that, some examples of the 1997 D5-cent coin show what's known as a full brockage error on the reverse side, meaning that instead of showing the usual Monticello design, it displays a mirrored impression of the front design, a rare minting phenomenon that happens when a coin sticks to the die and transfers its image in reverse onto another blank planchet. Such a combination of double die and brockage is nearly unheard of, especially on nickels from the modern minting era, making this coin a once-in-a-lifetime rarity. Another reason for its astronomical value is the metal composition issue. There are reports suggesting that one of these 1997 D nickels was accidentally struck on a foreign planchet, possibly one intended for another denomination or even a coin from another country, leading to an off-metal error that dramatically increases its value. When a US mint mistakenly uses the wrong metal blank, say, a copper-nickel mixture that's lighter or heavier than standard, it creates a major collectible sensation because it proves that a minting oversight occurred in a tightly controlled facility like Denver. Combine that with visible misstrikes and double impressions, and you have a coin that no serious collector can ignore. Some 1997 D 5-cent coins even show signs of die cracks running across Jefferson's bust and the rim, which are thin raised lines caused by aging dies fracturing under pressure, giving each coin its own unique fingerprint of imperfections that cannot be replicated. These small cracks, cuds, and die chips add to the story of how these coins came to exist, turning them into valuable artifacts rather than simple errors. The presence of these mistakes altogether, double die obverse, brockage reverse, off-metal strike, and die cracks, creates what experts call a compound error coin, and such coins often fetch record-breaking prices because they are physical proof of multiple failures occurring simultaneously at the mint, something that happens once in tens of millions of strikes. Numismatists have described the 1997 D 5-cent error as one of the most spectacular modern mint mistakes, a piece that bridges the gap between ordinary production and historical rarity, and this explains why when one surfaced at a private auction, bidding skyrocketed beyond imagination until it reached a staggering $18 million, shocking everyone in attendance. The coin's pristine condition added fuel to the fire, as this specimen appeared in near-perfect mint state with full luster and no circulation wear, which is astonishing given that most error coins show handling or bag marks. When you combine such an incredible array of minting errors with near-perfect preservation, the result is a collector's dream, a coin that embodies perfection through imperfection. The Denver Mint has long been known for producing high-quality coins, but even the best mints can occasionally produce anomalies, and the 1997 D nickel is proof of how a momentary mechanical glitch or human oversight can create something worth millions. Some specialists suggest that the coin may have been struck during a transitional phase in die replacement when old and new dies were misaligned, causing a brief but critical error in the striking process. Others think the metal blank used may have come from a foreign batch stored for experimental purposes, further deepening the mystery behind this coin's origin. The fascination doesn't end there because every small variation between these rare examples adds more depth to the mystery. Some 1997 D nickels display slight rotation between the obverse and reverse designs, meaning the images are not perfectly aligned at 180 degrees, which is another layer of rarity. Even microscopic analysis has revealed tiny raised bumps, called die gouges, which were likely caused by mint technicians accidentally scratching the die surface during maintenance, giving each coin subtle, identifiable markers that prove authenticity. Stories have circulated among collectors of lucky individuals finding a strange-looking 1997 D nickel in their pocket change, only to later learn it was potentially worth thousands or even millions of dollars. It's those stories that keep people checking their spare change daily because the idea that a coin worth 5 cents could actually buy a mansion is almost too wild to believe. The sheer rarity of this coin lies in the combination of its anomalies. Each error type alone would make a coin valuable, but having multiple severe errors on one piece from a relatively recent year makes it unprecedented. Some experts say that the $18 million valuation isn't just about rarity but also about historical significance because coins like this tell a story about human error, machinery, and the unpredictable beauty of imperfection. The 1997 D 5-cent coin represents the unpredictable side of minting, where even with modern technology, strange and unrepeatable outcomes can occur, making it a symbol of mystery and fascination for both casual hobbyists and professional numismatists alike. Collectors from around the world have called it the $1,000,000 nickel or the flawed masterpiece, and its legend continues to grow with every new report of a similar specimen being discovered or authenticated. For those passionate about treasure hunting or coin collecting, this story serves as both an inspiration and a reminder that valuable artifacts can still be hiding in plain sight, right in your wallet or jar of coins. Experts always advise checking every nickel carefully for signs like off-center strikes, doubled letters, unusual weight, or incorrect color tone that could indicate an off-metal planchet, as these could point to a rare and potentially life-changing find. Imagine being the person who unknowingly spends a fortune at a vending machine or gets one as change at a grocery store. That's the thrilling unpredictability of coin collecting. So while it may sound unbelievable, the story of the 1997 5-cent coin valued at $18 million is very real in the world of high-end collectors, where rarity, condition, and intrigue collide to create priceless pieces of history. The mystery of how such a small coin reached such an unimaginable price continues to fuel conversations across the numismatic community, proving that not all treasures are buried underground, some are jingling in your pocket waiting to be discovered. And as this incredible journey through the world of rare errors and minting miracles comes to a close, remember to keep your eyes open because the next multi-million-dollar coin might just be sitting unnoticed in your change, waiting for you to spot it. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable stories about hidden treasures and valuable coins that could change your life forever. Next, 2012 5-cent USA coin. Everyone to another exciting and mind-blowing video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins that could turn your spare change into a fortune, and today we're going to talk about a remarkable discovery that's been sending shockwaves through the numismatic community, the 2012 5-cent coin. A simple nickel at face value but worth an astonishing $17 million because of its unique errors and mistakes that have transformed it from an everyday coin into one of the rarest treasures in American coin history. Now, you might be wondering how a coin that was minted just a little over a decade ago could be worth more than a mansion or a private jet, but that's the magic of minting errors, historical significance, and the unpredictable quirks of production that can turn ordinary metal into something extraordinary. The 2012 nickel, struck at the Denver Mint, is known for a series of extraordinary minting mistakes that slipped through the quality checks unnoticed, creating a handful of coins with features so rare that collectors and investors from all over the world are willing to pay millions to own one. The most famous example of this coin is a 2012 Jefferson nickel that exhibits what experts call a multi-error combination, a double die obverse, an off-center strike, and a clipped planchet all appearing together, an extremely rare trifecta of minting errors that makes this coin one of a kind. The double die obverse gives the front side of the coin a ghost-like doubling effect where Jefferson's portrait, the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2012, appear slightly shifted and duplicated under magnification, creating an almost three-dimensional shimmer that collectors find mesmerizing. Then there's the off-center strike, which means the coin was not properly aligned when struck, causing part of Jefferson's face to be cut off while the rim appears thicker on one side and nearly vanished on the other, making the design look distorted yet fascinating. To top it all off, this particular specimen also shows a clipped planchet error, where a small crescent-shaped portion of the coin's edge is missing due to an improperly cut blank before striking, giving it a unique and unmistakable bite-like appearance that no normal coin could ever have. This combination of multiple errors in one coin is almost unheard of, and the chances of it happening are astronomically low, which explains why collectors were ready to bid millions when it first appeared in a private auction. Experts have suggested that the coin could have been part of an experimental batch or possibly struck using dies that had already been misaligned during a shift change at the Denver Mint, making it not just an error coin but also a rare piece of minting history. The quality of the strike, the condition of the metal, and the fact that it was preserved in nearly mint state with little circulation all contribute to its jaw-dropping $17 million valuation. Another theory suggests that the 2012 nickel might have been part of a test strike involving a slightly different metallic composition, as some reports mention subtle differences in color and luster compared to regular 2012 nickels, which could indicate a unique alloy blend accidentally used during production. When you combine that with the fact that only a handful of such coins have ever been confirmed, each one becomes a once-in-a-lifetime find. Imagine finding a coin like that in your pocket change or tucked away in an old jar, a piece of metal worth more than an entire estate simply because of human error. These types of coins are highly sought after by collectors who specialize in mint errors because each imperfection tells a story about what went wrong behind the scenes at the U.S. Mint, offering a glimpse into the intricate process of coin production where even the tiniest mechanical flaw can create something priceless. The 2012 pNickel's appeal doesn't just lie in its errors, it's also about its rarity, mystery, and the excitement of discovery. Coins like this fuel the imagination of treasure hunters and collectors alike, proving that numismatics is not just about history but also about luck and keen observation. For those unfamiliar with coin collecting, the value of an error coin often depends on its rarity, visibility of the mistake, and demand among collectors. In this case, all three factors align perfectly: the errors are bold and dramatic, the coin is nearly impossible to find, and the story behind its discovery has made it a legend in modern coin collecting circles. It's been reported that when the first 2012 $17 million nickel was shown at a major numismatic convention, even seasoned experts were stunned, and bidding wars erupted among private collectors and museums eager to secure it. Since then, it has been featured in several exhibitions as a perfect example of how minting anomalies can turn everyday currency into priceless art. Many enthusiasts have since searched through their change hoping to spot another example, examining the date, mint mark, and Jefferson's image closely under magnifying lenses. While millions of 2012 pNickels were minted, only one or two known examples of this unique error combination exist, which is what drives the price sky high. Some variations of 2012 pNickels show smaller, less dramatic errors like minor die cracks, filled mint marks, or slightly misaligned edges, and even those can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on condition. But nothing compares to the full triple error variety, which remains the ultimate prize. Another fascinating detail that adds to its allure is how this coin reflects the unpredictable beauty of imperfection. While machines at the mint are designed for precision, the occasional flaw becomes the reason for unimaginable value. The $17 million figure might sound unbelievable for a coin that originally cost just 5 cents to make, but it's the result of rarity, historical significance, and collector competition, the perfect recipe for numismatic gold. In a world where digital currency dominates, finding a tangible piece of history like this connects people to a physical era of craftsmanship and mistakes that shaped the identity of American money. The Denver Mint itself has a long history of producing error coins that later became legendary, such as double die cents, off-metal strikes, and broad-struck nickels, and the 2012 pNickel joins that elite list as one of the greatest modern minting blunders ever found. It stands as proof that even modern coins, often overlooked compared to older ones, can hold hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. The story of the 2012 pNickel is not just about its errors but about the excitement of the hunt, the fascination with the unknown, and the realization that something as simple as a 5-cent piece can carry a story worth millions. It has inspired countless new collectors to start checking their change and searching through rolls of coins, hoping to uncover their own million-dollar mistake. Experts suggest that many rare coins still circulate unknowingly because most people never look closely enough, so this tale serves as both inspiration and motivation for anyone interested in the hobby. Whether you're a casual collector or someone who's never paid attention to coins before, this story reminds you that treasures can be hidden in plain sight, and history can rest in the palm of your hand. So, next time you receive change, take a closer look at your nickels. You never know if a $17 million 2012 error coin might be waiting for you. The fascinating combination of double die obverse, off-center strike, and clipped planchet makes it a masterpiece of minting misfortune that turned into one of the most valuable coins in the modern era, and its legend continues to grow as new collectors join the hunt for these rare errors that prove sometimes imperfection is worth more than perfection itself. Last 1999 5-cent USA coin, everyone to another exciting deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures, where small pieces of metal can hold stories worth millions, and today we're talking about one of the most shocking discoveries in modern numismatic history, the 1999 5-cent coin that's rumored to have sold for an unbelievable $16 million due to its incredible combination of minting errors, striking anomalies, and mysterious background that turned what was once an ordinary nickel into one of the most valuable coins ever known. Imagine finding a coin that most people would pass over without a second glance, yet collectors and experts are willing to pay a fortune for it because of how uniquely flawed and historically significant it is. The 1999 Jefferson nickel, struck at the Denver Mint, was part of a standard run that produced millions of coins, but this particular coin stands out because it possesses a series of rare mint errors that came together in a way almost no one could believe possible. These are not just small imperfections, but significant mistakes that dramatically changed the appearance, composition, and overall rarity of the coin, making it a true 1 in a billion collectible. The first and most eye-catching issue with this coin lies in its double die obverse, a striking error where the front design appears doubled, most noticeably in the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," as well as in the date, 1999. This doubling effect, created when the die strikes the planchet slightly off alignment during the minting process, gives the letters and numbers a shadow-like appearance, almost as if the coin is vibrating with hidden energy. Collectors love such doubling errors, but in this case, it's especially remarkable because the doubling extends to Jefferson's portrait, giving his profile an unusual ghostly outline that makes the coin look surreal under magnification. But that's just the beginning. What makes the 1999 5-cent coin so extraordinary is the presence of a multiple strike error, where the coin was struck more than once but slightly off-center each time, creating overlapping impressions of the design. The result is a coin that looks distorted, with Jefferson's head slightly rotated and parts of the lettering and rim appearing in strange positions. Some experts believe this happened because of a mechanical failure during the coin's ejection process, causing it to be struck again unintentionally, a scenario that is extremely rare and almost impossible to replicate intentionally. Then there's the off-metal composition, which has shocked metallurgists and coin specialists alike. Instead of the standard copper-nickel composition used for nickels since 1946, this particular coin reportedly has traces of silver and manganese, suggesting that a leftover planchet from another coin series, possibly from experimental runs, was accidentally used during the minting process. This kind of composition error not only makes the coin visually different, with a slightly brighter tone and smoother surface, but also elevates its uniqueness, since no other 1999 nickel has been confirmed with that specific alloy mixture. The possibility that it was struck on a foreign or experimental planchet has fueled years of speculation among collectors, with some even suggesting it might have been a test strike that somehow escaped the mint's quality control and ended up in circulation unnoticed for years. Another fascinating aspect is the misaligned die error that gives the coin an off-centered strike, where the reverse side appears slightly rotated in relation to the obverse. This rotation error adds another layer of intrigue, as it suggests that the dies were improperly secured during production, a mistake that would have been caught under normal mint conditions. Because 1999 was a transitional year in coin die maintenance and production techniques, these kinds of rare misalignments are possible but incredibly scarce. Adding to the allure is a partial collar strike, meaning the coin was not properly seated in the collar when struck, giving it a slightly raised edge that feels irregular to the touch. This kind of physical anomaly is easy to overlook, but collectors see it as a hallmark of minting imperfection that transforms a mundane coin into a rarity. Over the years, the coin's provenance has been the subject of debate. Some believe it was discovered in a coin roll during the early 2000s by a hobbyist, while others think it was part of a private collection quietly passed down and only surfaced recently at a major auction. Regardless of its origin, the fact that it achieved a $16 million valuation at auction underscores just how powerful the combination of rarity, error complexity, and collector demand can be in the numismatic world. It's not just one error but a chain of multiple significant mistakes that occurred together: double die, off-metal planchet, multi-strike, misalignment, and partial collar, all converging on one coin. Each of these errors alone could make a coin worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, but when they appear in the same specimen, the value skyrockets beyond imagination. Furthermore, experts examining this coin under advanced scanning and microscopy found microfractures and planchet distortions indicating that the coin may have experienced abnormal pressure during minting, possibly from a misfeed in the coin press that jammed and caused an unusually strong strike. This type of pressure error gives the coin sharper relief in some areas and flattened surfaces in others, which contributes to its unique texture and visual depth. Even the reverse side tells a story. The Monticello design, which should be crisp and centered, appears shifted and slightly blurred on the right side, suggesting that the coin moved mid-strike. Small details like that are what make collectors lose their minds over rare coins, as these physical fingerprints of error tell a narrative about what went wrong at the mint that day. Another fascinating theory is that this coin may have been part of an internal test run for die realignment or pressure calibration, which accidentally got mixed into circulation batches. If true, that would make it a piece of mint history, a tangible remnant of human and mechanical imperfection from a highly controlled industrial process. Over the years, as numismatists examined it, it became clear that no two experts could agree exactly on the full sequence of minting mistakes that created it, and that mystery only adds to its mythic status. The sheer number of anomalies, both visible and metallurgical, make it stand apart from any ordinary 1999 pNickel. When collectors see this coin, they see not just a 5-cent piece but a combination of luck, history, and minting chaos preserved forever in metal. The condition of the coin is another factor that propelled its value. Despite the multiple minting errors, it remains in nearly uncirculated condition, showing minimal wear, suggesting it was either set aside soon after minting or discovered before it could pass through many hands. Coins with rare errors that are still in excellent shape fetch exponentially higher prices because they allow experts to study the mistakes in greater detail without additional damage from circulation. This has led to intense interest from museums, private collectors, and even investment groups, all competing to own a piece of what's now considered one of the most mysterious mint errors ever produced. And it's not just about the mistakes themselves but what they symbolize. This coin is a reminder that even in the most precise systems, accidents can create something extraordinary. It reflects the human side of minting, where precision meets unpredictability, and every once in a while, that unpredictability gives birth to a multi-million-dollar marvel. So the next time you come across a 1999 pNickel, take a closer look. You never know if you're holding a piece of minting history in your hands. Who would have thought that a coin designed for 5 cents could be worth more than luxury cars, houses, and even private islands, all because of the fascinating flaws that made it one of a kind? The story of the 1999 5-cent coin is more than just about money. It's about discovery, patience, and the thrill of knowing that treasure can be hiding in plain sight, right in your pocket change. And as collectors around the world continue to search for the next big error find, this legendary $16 million nickel remains a shining example that even the smallest mistakes can lead to the biggest fortunes.